Hello, hello, hello. We're going live. Gotta wait for it to post to the page. Watchers start showing up. Oh, there we go. People are on. I got smart this time, you guys, and I started with a picture. Because one thing I am really good at is starting videos with the craziest look on my face. And I was going back and looking at the videos I do for the kids, and some of the stills are just downright hilariously horrible. So now this will be the new intro. Do I have to actually draw or just drink? You can just drink and watch. Anyone is welcome. The drinkers, the non-drinkers, the drawers and drinkers. Everybody's on board. All right, I'm going to flip it around and say hi. Hi. Okay, I'm taking the glasses off. Look, I already have wine cheeks, you guys. I decided to drink wine and I turn bright red with wine. Hi. See, I watched all these like how to do better at group because like I've said, I'm a total amateur at this and videos, and everyone said take your glasses off, but you know what? Then I can't read your comments. Good times, good times. People are still showing up. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and like give a little bit of an introduction. Again, I've been doing this a lot because every day the page grows by like 500 people at least. So I'm Stacy. I am just a total amateur. I like to doodle. I always have. Hello, Heather. Greer Ross is the worst. I hated him in high school. I loved him. I took him goodies when he had his wisdom teeth out because that's the kind of person I am. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by the comments. So yes, I just like to doodle. I thought this would be a fun way to like get a community together. And so here we are. There's 170 plus people watching now, and it's grown now. It's 180. Which is just crazy to me. My girlfriend Heather, who's here, hi Heather, said we should do an adult one, and I'm on board. So here we go. The adult ones will be different because with the kids, I know with the kids I go fast. I'm making sure members get added as I'm doing this. I know with the kids I go fast, but you know, kids have like the attention span of a fly. So I can't chit chat and like interact as much with them because I want to keep it going. I don't want, you know, the 5-year-olds to get like super bored, or the 10-year-old. Mine's 9 and he wants to bail out halfway through. So with the, are we drawing giant penises? Jeez. Mona. With the adult ones, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a harder draw. I am just kind of a cartoonist, so my styles are always very cartoony. It may be more, it's just, you know, we're not going to draw Olaf. We're not drawing Frozen. We'll save those for the kiddos. But it'll operate much the same. We're going to have our supplies. We'll always have a theme. I might not always tell you what the theme is completely like I do with the kids. It might be more of a surprise. Okay, sorry. I know. I just want to make sure people who want to be here to draw can get added. This is why I'm going to need an admin soon, y'all. This is like getting off the hook. Okay, so it's adult draw. You need paper, you need a black pen, and you need a pencil with an eraser. Thrasher. You have a bunch of girlfriends on Zoom. I love this. Olaf with a penis. You guys are so naughty. This is why kids shouldn't be here. My kid was like, I want to draw. I'm like, no, you can go do your thing. I'm using colored pencils. You can use whatever you want. I have my wine. I just bought this today. Did anyone watch Love is Blind? I don't watch that kind of stuff, but I did. All they used were these metal glasses, and I'm like, I feel so fancy and so trashy now. Refill breaks. Nope. You better have it right by you, Shane. You just pour right from the desk. I love seeing everybody here. 230 people. Okay, I'm going to flip it back around and I'm going to show you a general idea of what we are going to do tonight. Let me do one last check for people trying to get in. And I think we're good. Yep, we're good. Okay. So I'm flipping you guys back around because then you'll see the writing the right way. Okay, so we're gonna draw a drink tonight, and I've been doing these for a while. These were actually one of the illustrations I used to sell frequently, and then I just kind of stopped. I prefer to just draw than actually attach like money to it. So these were some of my little creations, and what I do is I take a drink. This is a sangria. And I deconstruct it. So I imagine what kind of glass that drink will live in. I look and make sure I know what the ingredients are that are in the drink. And then we draw that drink. And I always like to add like some fun saying to mine. So we're going to do something like this tonight, but I'm going to show you a couple different options because you don't have to do it where it's just wording, okay? If you want to do that, then by all means go for that. But you can see, let's do this one. I still did, vodka, cream, but for the coffee liqueur, I drew a coffee bean. So let's imagine this looked a little bit different. The booze, you're probably going to go ahead and write that out unless you're going to draw the booze bottles. But, for the cream, you could draw a milk container. For the coffee, you could draw a bunch of coffee beans. For the ice, you could draw a bunch of ice cubes inside. So you kind of are going to have some options here of, do you want to just do some words and play around with different styles of lettering? Or do you want to actually draw within the image? So I'll show you a couple more. We have an old fashioned. That was like one of the first ones I did. Tequila sunrise. And a mojito. So tonight we are going to do, I said we're going to do something tropical. So we are going to do a Pina Colada. So, I am going to start with my cup, and you can make your cup, you decide what your Pina Colada glass is, and then make that shape. I will give you instruction for the shape that I like to do for a Pina Colada, but you could do a different one. And much like I tell the kids, you could make it big. I'm going to fill the page. You can make it smaller. We're going to add some kind of tropical flowers around by the bottom just to add something different. But I'm going to go ahead and get going. So for my Pina Colada glass, I'm going to do a line across the top. I'm going to kind of make an hourglass shape. An hourglass shaped cup. So from this line, I'm coming in and then I'm going to curve back out. And so that's the start. No, we're not doing a sunset. I mean, if we were going to be adults, like we might as well draw an adult beverage. So now is like the tricky part, because if you're doing this shape, you're going to have to try to recreate that shape on the opposite side. So I'm curving it in and then curling it back out. And I'm going to go ahead and bring both of these lines in. You know, I'm imagining that middle line. I talked about that before, as if you have a line right down the middle of your paper. And that's where the stem of my glass is going to be. I'm going to do a shot. Oh, draw a shot. I thought you were going to do a shot. Well, you should do a shot and draw a shot. I did, when I started drawing these, I used to take requests, and someone said, oh, draw a tequila shot. And I thought, a tequila shot? Like, that's one thing. But it actually came out really cute. I drew the shot glass. I just wrote tequila in it. I drew a lime on one side. I drew salt on the other. And I put no regrets instead of regrets. I spelled it wrong because, you know, that's where we all end up when we're drinking tequila. So there's the start of my Pina Colada glass. And now I'm going to go ahead and do a handle. So I'm going to come straight down the page as long as you want to make that stem. Nikki, you better catch up. Let's do shots. Mona, you're nuts. And then you're going to go ahead and do the bottom of your glass. So the bottom, most of the time, you know, the stem is going kind of in the middle of the base. So I don't want to just do a base right off of this line. I'm going to kind of come back so it looks like this is going into the middle of the base. I'm sure that makes sense to you guys as adults. And I'm just going to do an oval. So there is my Pina Colada glass. Is everyone good? And then you take a drink while everyone catches up and gets their glass drawn. This is super fun. I really can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you all being here. You guys have all helped this grow. You know, I celebrated when there were 1,000 people in this group. I couldn't believe it. And now we're at, 2,500. And I know that a lot are, drawing with their kids, but this is a fun way. We've spent all week with our kids. And we need some time for ourselves. And maybe you don't have kids, but you've spent all week cooped up inside by yourself and you need some time with others. So whether you're sitting here by yourself watching the live feed and you're drawing along with me, or you're hosting some kind of whatever those are called, some kind of party, and everyone is drawing together with you there. You're a part of something. You're with other people. And I think that that's super important right now. Mine looks like the mile-long drinks you get in Vegas. Then Nikki, make sure it has one of those cords around it, because the ones in Vegas, you always wear them around your neck. So can you make sure, I need yours to have a lanyard. Please make sure yours has a lanyard. That's the name of that. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So our Pina Colada, they're made really of only 3 ingredients inside, a simple one. So you have rum, you have pineapple juice, and you have coconut. And then we're going to add some little kind of toppings up here. A drawing party with Stacy. So I'm going to do my rum in the bottom. And so in here, I'm just drawing shapes that I'm going to fill the ingredients with. So I'm right about here going to make a line across. And then I'm going to follow the line of this glass, but leave some room for the actual edge of the glass. And meet back up. So that's going to be my rum. I apparently like a lot of rum in my pina colada. And then I want pineapple and coconut. And I'm going to go ahead and do those as even amounts. So instead of trying to make, two shapes that exactly match, I'm going to cheat here. And I'm going to make a line across, leaving a little room. And then I'm going to make a line up on each side. Again, following the shape of my glass, but leaving a little space. And I make it a cross. But now I'm going to divide this. So again, here's my imaginary center line. I'm going to go just a little bit to the right of that line and draw a line down. And then I'm going to go a little bit to the left of that line and draw a line down. And then once I go back and erase all my pencil, I'll erase that middle line. So now they're pretty much even. I didn't have to draw, a shape and then try to recreate that shape. I just made one big shape and then cut it into a piece. You guys good there? Going well? Take another sip. What's everybody sipping tonight? I saw a lot of people posting with pictures of wine. I saw somebody said they made a strong Mai Tai. We almost drew a Mai Tai. That was the other one I was thinking about. I have no eraser. You know what? There is a thing with, Aubrey, I love champagne. I would drink a whole bottle if I had the champagne though. As someone who draws a lot, I never have erasers. So I finally bought this huge bag of these because the erasers, they're always missing. It drives me crazy. Shots and Truly Hard Seltzer. Hi, Mom. My mommy's here from Florida. Do we have anyone outside of California? That's my next question. Oh, Nicole and Charlie are here. I'm super excited about the people who are, here with their friends. I'm also super excited about the people who are here with their spouses or partners. Mine looks like the Kool-Aid guy. That's the right shape though. The Kool-Aid guy is this shape. He's just a little stubbier. Vodka with lemonade. White Claw. Ain't no laws when you're drinking White Claws. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some of my shapes that are going to be up here at the top. So I'm going to add Kansas City, Idaho, Illinois. Super awesome. I love people being here too from all over. Okay, so up here at the top for me, I want a slice of pineapple. So I'm going to do a triangle. Down, I'm going to go right into the glass with it. Slightly curved. And then I'm going to come back across. So there's my pineapple slice. Colorado, Oregon, love it. I also want a cherry in mine. And so I'm going to do that up here at the top also. And I usually over exaggerate the size a bit so you can actually see it. So a cherry just is that you just kind of make this weird like bean shape. And then you do a little backside. And in the middle of this is where we put our cherry stem. And I like to do a line, make a little circle, and then come back and like meet up. And there's my little cherry stem. California, and got someone in Boston. Alabama. I can't wait to go back and like look at all this. Hawaii. Oh, that sounds like paradise. Another thing that you could do here is you could draw yourself an umbrella. So let's put one, I'm going to put one back here in the back behind my cherry. So I'm going to do a line, almost just like it's that kind with the poke, the stick. And it's going to sit right inside of the cherry. And so I'm going to do a curve and a curve. Angie, I hope you're drinking every time I say curve. This is the new drinking game. A curve and a curve. And then another one at the top that connects it all. I like to say the word curve. And a little top. And then we can also do a straw. I know it's California and they're, picky about their straws, but everybody likes a good straw to drink out of. So you don't have to do all these same ones I did. It just gives you an idea of what you can put on the top of your drink. And actually, when I am done, I am going to ignore these lines that are inside. So they're just up on the top. But you can leave them there, whichever you like. I like mine to look just like a topping, even though in a real glass you would see it kind of sticking inside the glass. So it doesn't matter how you do it. That's just my preference. Is everyone good? Keep it. It's a reusable straw, exactly. But gosh, don't we all hate? I hate those cardboard ones. And then when you go in later, you can add little details. We're going to add details into our pineapple, details into our straw, make our umbrella kind of colorful up here. So let's tackle the parts inside. So like I said, you can do just more of a text, a font, if you will. So for rum, I'm just going to write rum. Now you can draw a bottle of rum. Maybe that's how you want to do your box. So I'm just doing it over exaggerated size, but filling the space so it's smaller here and it gets bigger here to fill that room. The U, and then the M. You could draw jugs of rum. And then we have pineapple and coconut. So this is where you have options. You could keep doing something like this and do a completely different font up here. Or I'm going to go ahead and draw a pineapple in one. So kind of an oval shape. The pineapple has these pointy leaves that come off the top. They kind of build on top of each other. And then it usually has those little V shapes. little pineapple butt. So there's the pineapple. And then coconuts. So for my coconuts, I'm just going to do a bunch of coconuts, a bunch of circles. And I'll make them, when I color it in, I'll make them kind of brown, maybe make them look a little bit furry. And so there are my coconuts. But like I said, if you don't want to do the drawing of the inside, you could just do all writing. You could just write the ingredient out. I just think it's fun when you're writing the ingredient out to try to change, like I'll show you one again, to try to change, the style. So this one I made a little curvier. This one I over-exaggerated just the first letters. So just making that look a little bit different. You could also have added ice in here, ice cubes, because usually this is blended with ice. I'm just going to leave it out like this for now. And just to add a little bit more tropical to mine, I'm going to do a couple flowers here at the bottom. So I'm going to stick with a, tropical-y theme. So I'm going to do a hibiscus, and I'm going to do a plumeria. So the hibiscus flower, it has these, almost a teardrop shape petal, but they don't come to a point, but they're wavy. So you just kind of do these rough, wavy lines. Can you guys see that? And so start with one. It's going to have 5 total. And then I build the second one off of the first. So it's overlapping, but I'm going to go ahead and erase that line after. And I'm just kind of making, again, these wavy shapes. I'm going to go over the base of my cup. It looks silly right now. It looks like I'm super shaky, but it'll make sense once we start coloring it in. And then we have 2 more. So I'm going to layer this one. And last one will fit right in here. So there is my just shame. Keep going, Tiffany. Even if you feel like you're bad, just keep going. I promise. Like it's like with the kids, you have to just encourage them to just keep going with it, because the more they do it, the better you get at it. If you keep coming back to these, you'll get better and better at the shapes. And the good thing is we're starting in pencil, so we can always erase. So our hibiscus, it's going to have a stem that goes up the middle. So you make this 2 skinny lines. And then it has all these circles up at the top of it. So see, now suddenly that looks like a flower. And once we color it in and we do these and figure out what's overlapping what, so like I'm going to have this overlapping this, so I'm going to erase that one right there. And I'm going to have this one overlapping this, so I'm going to erase that. So you decide which one of your petals is on the top, and then you erase that line. So this one's going to overlap that, so I'm going to erase this line here. And then this one just barely overlaps. It's not covering my glass stem. Just add more flowers. I'm going to need a redo on that flower business. So you will get a redo when I go back in and go over it in pen. I'll talk about the flower shape again, like kind of how we're doing that. And then I will be erasing that part of my glass. This flower is really heavy. Oh gosh, I love parents and adults. It's so nice being with adults. Like, have we all just been holding this in all week? I even thought today, as I was thinking about, doing this video, I thought, God, how many times am I going to cuss on this? I have a potty mouth, and I've been, able to hold that back. When I'm teaching the kids, thank goodness. So far so good tonight too. I haven't dropped any naughty ones yet. So over here, let's start working on the plumeria before I get out of control talking. So I'm going to do a tiny little circle. Plumerias have a teeny tiny little circle. I don't even know if you can see that because the comments are all covering it. And then these also have this kind of teardrop shape. They come to more of a point at the top, but they're not totally pointed. They're going to curve. And it's also going to have 5, like this one over here did. And you're just overlapping. You'll erase lines later. 3, 2, that's 2. Oh, goodness. This is my 3. 3. And then 2 at the bottom. Oh. And one more. Then you decide which petal lives on top, and you erase that other line behind. But we're going to add lines onto the plumeria because the plumerias always have this edge. It's kind of what makes them look like a plumeria when you're drawing them. So that line's erased. This line is erased. Sometimes it's just hard keeping track of which line you're erasing. I'll change that shape, make it a little bigger. So with a plumeria flower, once you have your flowers, once you have your petals, on the same side, so you can decide, is it going to be on the right side or is it going to be on the left side? I'm going to do the left. They have this line that just follows the edge of the petal. So there's another little flower. And of course, it's going to look, I should have played the Pina Colada song in the background. And this one, let's go ahead and do, I'm going to do a little swirly green. I'll make that green. And I like to do little dots. I can even put some over here by my hibiscus. They look cute once you start coloring them in. So there we go. That is our drink. And then we just go back over it with black marker. How's everyone doing? You're welcome. It's fun for me too. Mom's getting more wine. I've got more people trying to get in. I'm just drinking and watching. Yeah, I've watched many a drawing video on YouTube. The thing with the YouTube ones, and which is why I kind of wanted to do this live is, you just get, like, there's no editing here. You're just getting me. I can't edit it. I can't fix anything. I don't get a do-over. But especially when we're drawing with your kids, I think that's important for them to, know that. But if you are drawing with your kids and you find your kids are struggling every time, then you know what? Go and wait till it's over and then do it with them not live. Do it with them after the fact, because they, unless they're leaving comments for their friends, they really don't know the difference. So now I'm going to go ahead and start my black lines. So I'm going to come in here, do the top. Let's go ahead and do these shapes here. My pineapple slice. I'm going to add a little edge here and some lines in. It'll look like a pineapple once I color it, but yes, it will be available tomorrow. So it'll be available tonight. As soon as I'm done with the whole thing, I immediately hit post to group, and it takes a minute or two, and then it posts in its entirely onto the page. I'm going to go ahead and do my cherry. My cherry's big too. Drawing with small kids is challenging. It is like drawing tipsy. I was worried tonight because I took all this allergy medicine. I had to go get allergy medicine today because I was dying. And I really hate taking it because it really messes with me. So I took 2 different kinds. And about, 40 minutes ago, I was so shaky, I figured the drawing was going to be a real shit show. But thankfully, I got it together. Outline my glass. Now every time I see one of these glasses, I'm going to think of the Kool-Aid Man. And for those of you that know me, you know I have a relationship with the Kool-Aid Man. We go way back. Let's draw the stem. I did, Jerry. I'm going to go in a timeout for that. And then just draw this bottom part of the stem because I don't want the flowers. Come back up here, do the inside. These are my coconuts. I said nuts. Do my pineapple shape. And then the little pointy leaves. And the little triangles inside. And finally, last but not least, the booze. Pineapple! Sarah, part of my pineapple posse. All right. So the whole inside is done. I just have to do the flowers. And so I'll go over these a little bit again. I'm doing these in pen now, so I'm only going to follow the lines that I left on the page. So I'm going to start with this one, which is in the background here and then comes into the front ground of this one, the foreground. That's probably the right word. And so again, I'm just doing these like wavy lines. A hibiscus has wavy lines, and I'm going to end it there. And then this one's going to build behind that, but the front of the next, and end it there. And then same behind and front. And sometimes when I'm drawing, I almost say those things to myself just to keep track of what I was doing. So it's behind here, so it's going to be on the front on this side, and then this last one, wavy lines, just like that. And these little dots I did, I'm just doing these black. They're just kind of fun little, I don't know, accent marks, just a little detail. And then we have our stem. And the little dots on each side. And there we go. Our flower is done. And now we have our plumeria. This one's in the back. And this one's in the front. And then goes to the back. And flowers, we have a tendency to want to draw flowers. Oh, I can put the little center there. We want to draw them all symmetrical and perfect. And you know what? They never are. So like this has a bigger gap here, but it's not like that's wonky, because no flower is this like perfect shape. That's just flowers. So don't worry if your flower has a unique shape or isn't exactly symmetrical or all. Like this one lined up for me really well. This one didn't as much, but it still works. And once it's colored in, it'll look great. And then I'm just doing those little shadow lines. I'm going to make these little spaces darker than the others. And there we go. My drink is done. And now I'm going to erase. So how are you guys all doing? How's everybody going? Is everybody outlining? Did everybody give up and stop and is just drinking and listening to me yammer on? I want you guys to post your drawings too, even if you don't like them. I better see some drawings at the end of this. The problem with these erasers too is they break. But maybe I'm just an aggressive eraser. Stressed. You're not supposed to be stressed. This is supposed to be relaxing. I'm very upset my husband's is better. Oh gosh, I really, I can't even imagine like what my husband's would look like. I can't even imagine him having a Facebook. Still outlining. You keep on outlining, girl. I'm going to go ahead and give my straw diagonal stripes. And I'm going to color the inside of the straw black, because that would be shadowed anyway. Hi, Lisette. And remember, if you're coming in late, you can always go back and watch later. You don't have to watch live. If you feel like you just messed up way too much and you need a redo, you can always go back later. You don't have to watch live. I'm going to sip some wine while I let you guys outline. In fact, I'm going to pour some more. Still erasing. That's fine. I think my husband is watching Mad Max. Like, really? That's what they're showing right now? And then the good part about this, parents, is if your kids are doing this and you're a parent doing it and you watch your kids struggle and maybe you're struggling right now, you can go and say, look what I did. So you can show them that you did it too. Long pour, of course. It's because I was using this, look. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start in on the coloring. If you guys have questions for me while I'm coloring about something we did do during the drawing, ask away. I'm going to go ahead and start on the flower. When I'm coloring with pen, start from the top and work down. So if you have pens or if you're using these crayons I said I really like, please start at the top and color down. Because if you don't, you're going to smudge it like crazy. The beauty of the pencil is you can start coloring from anywhere you want. You don't have to start from the top because your hand isn't going to smudge it all over the place. 9-year-old drawing is better. Well, I can't wait to see those. That's really funny. Okay, so on my plumeria, this outside edge, I'm going to use the same color pencil in the whole flower. Actually, I want that little dot in the center. Black. Yes, this is my dog. It was my dog who passed away, Taco, but I have a dog just like it now. And then on this hand, I have my dog Whiskey, my lab. So I'm coloring these outside dark. I'm using the same color I'm going to use on the inside, but I'm just pushing much harder. If you're doing pen, you don't really have that option. So you're just going to pick colors that are, similar in shade, one being a little bit darker, or you can go, a light pink and a purple. Work with whatever you have. So I'm coloring this the darker shade, and then on the inside I'll do it lighter. So same exact color. Just go lighter. I know when I first started drawing a lot more frequently, I was a huge fan of pen, and I was a fan of these watercolor pens because you could blend them and you could make them lighter and you could make them darker. So it allowed you to do shading. I always hated pencils because I hated seeing the line, and I hated seeing like the variance if you did push a little harder in some areas than others. But if you get non-Crayola, if you get, yes, I'm talking about that right now, Carmen. I love Blick Studio. There's another really fancy brand. I can't think of what it's called. This is like the generic of that. But the lovely thing about these is you get what's called a blender. And you can't really see that, but it's not white. It kind of looks white, but it actually takes the pencil and you can go over the top and it blends in all of the little variances you may have made. You can just blend it together. So for example, when I did my Prisma, yep, that's the one. So Prismas are super nice and they are also super expensive. And I just don't, I pay the money for nice pens. I have a lot of Prisma markers, but you know, when I did the hair, it was all these different lines, and then I went back in with this and it blends those all together. So if you do want to get yourself, you know, a different set of pencils, I highly suggest these Blick because they're a step up from your cheap ones, but they're still pretty inexpensive. I've tried a couple other inexpensive ones that I paid just as much for on Amazon, and they didn't work as well. So Blick. I love the store Blick. So if you're here in Sacramento, I think they have them all over and you can order online, but I really, really love that store. So for my hibiscus, I'm going to color these little circles in an orange. And then I'm going to color that stem a red. No, it's actually the blender is an actual pencil. It isn't rubber. And I know some of you asked to do people. I got a couple requests. We will do people at some point, but I will tell you, people is still, while it's one of the things I do, I sell a lot of family portraits at Christmas time. I still really struggle with people. So it's hard to teach people how to do people. Like, that's a weird thing for me. So on my, in Prismacolor, it's colorless blender. It's the same. In Blick, it's just called Blender. Oh, there's Kim. Friends with Kim, and there's Kim right behind. So my hibiscus, I'm going to go ahead and do this pink. I'm just going to kind of color the whole thing in the same color. You'll see, much like I say on my kit instruction, I kind of always go along the edge I don't want to color outside of and then work my way in. It's just how I've always done it to stay in the lines. Hey, 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 Morgan, you made it. So go along that edge and in. I'm sure some of you here have Christmas ornaments I've done. That's usually what I sell at Christmas time. And then here, I'm again going to use the same color that I was using, and just towards the center, I'm going to color it a little bit darker and just give some shading. Gives it some depth. You can do this from the center out, or you could also do it from the top and make the tops darker and it be lighter down towards the middle, but I wanted this one. And see, this is where you can go in with that colorless blender and you can like blend that in so you don't have this abrupt change of light to dark. But, you know, again, that's if you're just showing you some tips and tricks. And there you go. So that's our flowers. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the cherry because that's nice and simple. I'm just going to color this in red. Also, when I'm coloring big spaces with pencil, I usually will start kind of in a back and forth motion, and then I go back with this kind of circular motion, and that helps blend colors together. And then on this inner part, I'm going to do this darker. And give it a green stem on the top. And then my straw, I'm going to do kind of a blue and white stripe. There we go. Straw's done, cherry's done, flower's done. So of my people here, how did you find this group? Did you find it from me? Was it shared by a friend? Did you see it on a parent page somewhere? I keep coloring, otherwise we'll be here all night just watching me color. Nobody wants that. Although I don't know, right now I feel like we're all just enjoying a little solo time to ourselves, being away from our children for a little bit. I can hear mine playing his game and being crazy in the background. A friend, shared by a friend, recommended. My page from me. Yeah, a lot of you are friends of mine, local peeps. I want a brown for this top of my pineapple. Gracie's picture. The kids' pictures. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm going to love this too. Just every night when I wait till nighttime and I sit and I go through, I have to, when I make those When I make those folders with the albums with the pictures, I have to go picture by picture and save them to my phone. I haven't found an easy way to do that. So I go picture by picture by picture by picture. I heart it and I save it to my phone, and then I throw them all in an album. And every night I cry. And I am not a crier. I have been a crier a lot in the last couple weeks, and I've especially been crying since doing this, but it's a good cry. I'm going to color my little coconuts brown. I'm going to go kind of light on them. And then I'm going to try to just do a little bit of like bumpiness. So I'm just making some darker marks because, you know, coconuts kind of have that hairy look to them. Right? I think we all need to cry right now. You too, Shane. I just let myself do it. I woke up this morning and like watched something and just cried. And I wasn't upset, but I feel like when I like hide it or hold it in, then I'm like a hot mess the whole day. And just every single thing makes me want to cry. So right now I'm just giving myself the space to cry when I need to cry. See, Shane, I knew you needed to cry. I knew you needed to cry in Target yesterday and that you needed a hug, but you know, 6 feet. Color in this. So see, this is a different brand pencil. I can tell right when I put it on the paper. I don't love it as much. This is one of the ones I bought from Amazon. I got lots of messages too from friends today. It was cute, telling me, my kids are pissed that you're not drawing today and that I get to. So I loved that. I love that it's like a routine. The kids are looking forward to it. So I hope they're excited about Monday. Trying to figure out some other surprises for them. Just spilled beer on your paper. That's not good. I still want to see the picture though. Now for the top of my pineapple, I need a green. 3 limes. Yeah, Shane was going to cry over the limes. I think I got limes in 1/8 of the time that it took Shane's kids to pick out 3 limes. Yeah, I thought about that, Erica. It is a great idea. So for those of you who are reading this, if you think about it, I do usually make the album, and you could drop them directly into the album. But, you know, I know a lot of times people will miss that. And then I've thought about asking people to do that, but I haven't quite decided. I'm afraid I'm going to miss them and that other people will miss them. And I won't be able to keep track like what's in the album and what's not in the album. So for now, I'm just going to keep having everyone post them to the page. As much as I thought it might be easier to do that, I would really, really be sad if I like missed any kids' arts. Greer Ross is trying. Oh, so funny. Okay, my umbrella. I don't know what I want to do here. I'm going to go super bright. So I'm going to start up at the top with kind of a bright pink. Again, you can make, maybe your umbrella is polka dotted. How do I send you my pic? You just post it right on the page. So if you, when you're on the Draw with Stacy page, you should be able to just write a post and post it right on there. And then I'll go through and grab them all. Then I'm going to do a bright orange. Brandon, the art you're seeing is the art in your driveway. We've been drawing from your house to my house for 2 days. Your invited friends are going rogue. During the coloring, people always go rogue. I'm finding even with the kids, you know, a lot of times it starts really high, and then as soon as the coloring begins, that's usually about when people peace out. So, you know, I feel like if you're here right now, you're really into just listening to me ramble on. When someone posts, are you able to click on the photo? Are you able to add it or move it to your album? I can, but I have to, but I just have to do it one by one. So yes, if you post things, I can easily grab them and put them in an album. I've had no problem with that. Once you put it on the page, because I own the page, I have access to the photo immediately. I'm not doing with them, I'm not putting them anywhere else other than just adding them to an album on the page. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Coconuts? Valerie, do you call coconuts something else? Now I'm curious. So last but not least for me is I'm going to go ahead and color in the glass. So I like to leave these spaces white. You can do something different than that, but I do like coloring in the glass. Sometimes I do these really light, sometimes I do them dark, sometimes I do them darker towards the bottom, and then I do it lighter at the top. Just kind of whatever I feel like. So I'm just coloring all of this space in. I have so many pencil marks. I never push hard with pencil. I go really light. The only reason I'm pushing hard is so you guys can see me. So all of my pencil marks from previous days' drawings are underneath. Just keep on coloring it up. Thanks for hanging out, Tiffany. Get some rest. We all need good sleep right now. I know I waited to have any sort of, I had a tiny glass of wine before I started, mostly to settle my nerves. I do get super nervous before I go on to do this, even with the kids. I'm always afraid I'm going to mess up, or the camera's going to shut off, or my lighting is going to be terrible. But yeah, I could have started drinking a lot earlier. Like at noon. So there we go. There is our drawing. It is the silver lining, Becky. This has just been, it's been such a blessing for me. It was not a good day at all Monday. I had already decided to do this when before I got unfortunate news. And I just absolutely, like, this has been a distraction. It has been a blessing. I am a very extroverted person, so it has given me an outlet of contact with human beings. And we will absolutely do this after this is lifted. I don't know what it'll look like for the kids. Maybe it'll just be something that we do once a week. But we will absolutely keep doing this. I do not want to ever stop. And I want to keep doing it on Facebook because I think it just really helps you do community versus something like YouTube where you just watch and when you're done, it's over. So that is my drawing. I'm going to sign it. I usually just do my first initial and last name with the kids I have write out. So if you would love, if you would for me, I would love if you would write your name on there. I'm not going to make you put your age. And then I always like to write something fun. So this is a Pina Colada. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's get caught in the rain. And I'm going to do a raindrop. So thank you very much for attending Draw with Stacy, our first adult night. We will be back here next Saturday, same time, same place, different beverage. I'm going to keep adding some little texture while you guys catch up. You guys are a little bit behind me, and that way I can still see your comments as they come in. So thank you very much. This was a blast. I love you all. Thank you for helping me build this amazing community. Bye, guys. Oh, I'm going to flip it. Bye.